Welcome to The List. I'm Jessi Combs.
And I'm Patrick McIntyre. And together, we're checking items off the ultimate automotive bucket list. From things everyone should do
to things few have ever done before. And this week, we get a taste of the most popular motorsport in the world as we drive an F1 car.
Then we go down to the strip for some head-to-head action as we go drag racing with one of the sport's legends.
I've had a love affair with cars my whole life. I build them in my shop, and I race them both on and off-road.
I've spent years on the auto show circuit talking about cars, but now it's time to get behind the wheel and find the next adventure.
Together, we're setting out to tackle all things that every car enthusiast should do.
This is The List.
So we're here at Thermal Racetrack. It's a private members-only club here in California, and we are about ready to jump inside of an F1 car with a little bit of instruction first.
F1 is one of those things that's completely elusive. If you're not part of Formula One, the chance to be this close to a car, sit in the car, nonetheless drive the car, is an absolute dream come true.
Part of the program is getting instruction, and this is one of our instructors right here. So you get a chance to meet all these people that have never had a chance to sit down in these cars before. What is that experience like for you to watch someone for the first time every time?
It's really enjoyable to see the big smile on their face when they got out of the car. They, of course, are a little bit nervous when they go in. They don't know what to expect. They saw the previous run, and they look at the smile of those people, but they always are a bit anxious.
So what should I expect behind the wheel of this physically? What should I expect to feel?
Well, you get a lot of G's in acceleration mainly. You get carbon brakes, which is at the end of each straightaway you can brake very late. And actually those brake only work if you brake late. If you brake too early, the brake will not pick up any heat and you're not going to have any brake.
The vehicles themselves, it sounds like they work at their best when they are pushed to their furthest.
Or they build that way. Yeah. They build to run those cars at the maximum horsepower, braking, downforce. And when you experience driving those cars, of course you're not going to be at the limit like a Formula One Grand Prix, but you're going to get the feeling of what a Grand Prix driver feel with their own race.
The day started off with a briefing from Didier. We hopped into the van to learn the course as a group, and then we jumped into the Lotus Evora S to get accustomed to paddle shifting as we practiced the proper race line. This was all part of the curriculum laid out by the Pirelli GP Experience. They hold events at circuits all over North America, providing the race cars and expertise that enables people like you and I to experience the thrill of driving an F1 car. With a price tag of $7,000 to $10,000, it's not a cheap thrill by any stretch. But for the die-hard enthusiast, it's a surefire way to live a day at the wheel as an F1 pilot. The Thermal Club track is made up of 3 main courses, with 4.8 miles of track and the flexibility to run in 19 unique configurations. We'll be driving the South Palm circuit, which has 10 turns and a 2,500-foot straightaway.
Yeah, I want to keep within a reasonable distance, but we want to work on what we need to.
That's fine.
Is this far enough behind for you?
Yeah, no, we can. Yeah, this is a good distance.
Okay.
I mean, let's get in the habit of using the paddles because you're gonna have to use that in the Formula One car.
Okay, good to know.
Hey, look into the corner.
Okay.
Now be patient on the throttle here.
So real easy?
Yep. Get your eyes up to the next one. Okay, wait for it to point. Now we can get on the gas and go.
Wait for it to point.
Yep. Yeah, so slow, like overslow the car for these tight hairpins. Like overslow it, let the car turn in, and then get on the throttle.
Okay.
Hey, hard on the brakes. Brakes. Look in. Now patience. Patience on the throttle.
I'm in too early on this one, but it's okay.
Patience. Okay, now you can start to go. And then just on the wheel.
And just let it open up.
Good.
I guess I know where the rev limiter is.
That was pretty awesome. I mean, I'm definitely learning a lot about the track, when to brake, when to turn in, when not to throttle just yet, and just to be patient.
I don't know if I'm getting better. I'm talking myself through everything they're telling me what to do, and I can't tell if I'm actually doing better or not.
I'm still doing a little bit of oversteering, but in the grand scheme of things, I still think it's all going to change once we get into the F1 car. As part of our F1 experience, we get to actually drive with pro drivers, and one of them is Simona Di Silvestron, and I have to say that I highly respect because she has a lot of accolades in the open wheel world. I mean, literally, how long do you think it would take to get sitting in a pro seat?
Well, you know, it takes quite a bit, especially when going into open wheel. You only can do that around when you're 16 years old. And then there's a lot of different categories you have to go through. And racing, unfortunately, is also a sport that costs a lot of money. So, you know, you can be really talented, but you also need people behind you who support your career. But, you know, it's awesome. You know, you get to drive cars, and it's just really special. You know, there's a lot of drivers out there that don't get the chance to get to a level like Indy cars or F1, and I'm really lucky to be doing this.
After a full day of instruction and seat time, it was finally time to suit up for the ride of our lives, and Jessi is up first. We each have slightly different driving styles, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out with the power and precision of an F1 car.
Up next, our trip to the track gets cut short when one of us spins out.
Stick around, we'll be right back.
Autoblog, the ultimate automotive resource. From the latest vehicle reviews, shopping advice, and ownership tips, to helpful apps, community forums, and photo sharing. Autoblog, where you can research, shop, and share everything on wheels.
Downshifting on its own is definitely a unique feeling. I spun out, that means I'm done. Damn it. I don't like that part. I know that when we spin out, we're done.
I spun out coming out of one of the turns. I got a little too happy on the throttle, but the crazy thing is like, it's not like it's a sensitive throttle. It's like when you touch the throttle, there's just so much power to the car that it just takes off.
And now it was my turn. Watching Jessi spin out really upped the stakes for me. I was trying not to let it psych me out.
You touch nothing, no gas, no clutch.
Nothing, go ahead.
When the engine running, you do 2 times with the throttle, boom, boom.
Okay.
Push the clutch. I'm on the front, I do that.
That's clutch?
Yeah, and there is second gear. Yeah. You release the clutch very slowly. When you feel the car move, move.
A few last-minute pointers were much-needed reassurance in this moment.
That was amazing. That was unbelievable. Oh my God. Well, it's been a long day, but we can officially check drive an F1 car off the list.
And I can officially check spin out an F1 car off my list.
Well, you have to respect the beast.
But for now, I think we have one more experience, and that is to know what an F1 car is really like with a pro driver behind the wheel.
Oh, a little ride along.
Yes, let's do it.
Drag racing has been around in one form or another since the advent of the automobile. From a standing start, vehicles, usually two at a time, compete to see who will cross the finish line of a measured course first. Courses are typically 1/8 or 1/4 mile long. In the 1960s, electronic timing devices became standard in competitive drag racing. Today, the cars have become much more extreme. The fastest class in pro drag racing is now making upwards of 8,000 horsepower, covering a 1/4 mile in about 4 seconds and reaching speeds over 300 miles per hour.
Today we are at Arendelle Speedway for their Thursday night Run What You Brung drag racing event, where the parking lot is already filling up and it's gonna be crazy tonight.
Now, this is an accessible event for anyone, and we brought with us a couple muscle cars that are a modern-day take on the American classics. Right behind us, they're prepping the drag strip for later on tonight, and this is the area where we'll be staging.
Now, because we're gonna be racing tonight, we needed to get a few tips and tricks, so we called on a professional funny car driver, affectionately known as Fast Jack.
Jack Beckman, thank you for coming out.
Great to be here, Patrick. Jessi, good seeing you again.
Thank you.
We are probably not going to get behind the wheel of a funny car.
As much as we would love to.
Right.
For a couple million, maybe,
Maybe. But what is it for just an average Joe like myself? I mean, like tonight's event, a Run What You
Yeah,
Brung.
here we are at Arendelle Dragway. We've got a Mopar Challenger, we got a Mopar Charger here, both with the 470 horse Hemis in them. We're gonna have a lot of fun. You don't need to have 470 horsepower. And I think that's the disconnect with the average person, is they watch sports on TV. They're not gonna go play against the Yankees.
Right.
They're not gonna go race against Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Right.
But you can drive your own personal car to your local drag strip. Once you pass a basic technical safety inspection, you can go actually run the car that very day. Drag racing is so accessible to literally everybody.
Now, in your opinion, what makes a good drag car?
Horsepower and traction makes a great drag race car. But you know, when you come out to the sportsman level, the weekend warriors, the people that come out here and compete at 45 races a year, the sportsman racers can literally get 2 or 3 times the amount of runs that I can get in a year. So if you look at the ones that have been successful over the several years, the ones that are winning their local track championships, they got a lot of seat time in that particular vehicle. And they've done things to it, not necessarily to make it faster, although that's good, but to make it more consistent. It makes them much tougher to beat.
Well, we want to get started, so what do we have to do, Jack?
We're going to go over some of the fundamentals that you guys are going to need to know to not only be safe, but to have the most amount of fun and be competitive.
Cool.
Let's get going.
Coming up, I challenge the fastest woman on 4 wheels to a drag race.
But there's a problem with the track.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
The Dodge Charger SRT8 Supervee, originally based on the Coronet, was produced in the late 60s. Supervee is routed in the B-body distinction given to Chrysler midsize cars. The modern versions have come a long way. It's got a 392 Hemi, makes 470 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. It'll do 0 to 60 in the 4-second range.
Okay guys, so we're in the automatic Charger here, and stuff that might sound obvious, but it's important from a safety standpoint. Air conditioner off, you don't want to get condensation on a racetrack. Windows up for safety. Pulling around, you're going to make sure we're in the middle of our lane, pointed straight before you roll up to the starting line. As you approach the starting line, you're going to look over at the Christmas tree and inch up nice and slow until you light the pre-stage. Stop. You know you're about 7 inches away from the starting line. With the automatic car, if you want to power brake it, if you want to bring the engine idle up to try to get it to launch a little harder, got our left foot on the brake, bring it up. 1500 seem to work pretty good on the Charger here. Now you can look back at the Christmas tree and you're going to inch in, and then as soon as you light stage, you're going to see the countdown. Yellow, 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 third amber.
After the break, the results are in.
We'll be right back.
Okay, so before we go out on the racetrack for one of our time trial runs, we're just gonna do a dry run here so you're familiar with the car. Okay, so we're gonna put it in drive. And then we're gonna roll up nice and slow, watching the Christmas tree, and pre-stage. All right, now you wanna bring up your RPM. You got it. Now inch in, and staged, yellow, yellow, yellow. Nice.
Here is the Dodge Challenger SRT8. Originally, the Challenger was considered Dodge's answer to the Mustang and the Camaro, and was in the E-body category. This is the third generation, and it gets many of its styling cues from the 1970s Challenger RT. It also has the same engine as the Charger, but the main difference is a 6-speed manual transmission, and it's about 200 pounds lighter.
Okay, so Jessi, here we are in the stick shift Challenger. A lot more things to do in a short period of time relative to an automatic car. And we think 3,000 RPM works pretty good as a launch RPM. All right, so we're gonna roll up nice and slow and pre-stage.
Okay.
Now we're just gonna have to inch up till we get to stage, and staged. Now we're gonna get our launch RPM, and yellow, yellow, yellow.
Thanks again for coming out to our Arendelle drag strip, your place to race here in sunny Southern California. Jessi Combs and Patrick McIntyre are here tonight, the hosts of AOL's Autoblog show, 1001 Car Things to Do Before You Die.
Hey guys, I just got done talking to the track manager. A little bit of bad news, but there's some good news to go with it.
We just got word, apparently one of the lanes is wet, so they're closing it down, which means we only have one lane to run on. It's gonna slow things up a little bit, but fear not, because we have a plan.
Here's my thought. Why don't you guys make a run in the Challenger, make a run in the Charger? Each of you drives each car.
Make it even game.
Yeah, the time slips don't lie. It's still gonna be drag racing. We're still gonna get some numbers here. At the end of the 2 runs, what we'll do is we'll just compare your guys' time slips side by side, and whoever's got the average, quickest runs, we're gonna declare them the winner.
Okay, now we're gonna go over all the safety equipment on the car. Nice and clean, new.
Yep.
Okay, now if you run quicker than 8:59, you're required to wear a helmet here.
Well, that was surprisingly easy. 20 bucks, a tech inspection, and we're ready to go.
Yep, we get our bracelets, which means we can go place our cars in the staging lines and use all of the tips and tricks that Jack taught us earlier today to the real test.
The staging lanes are packed, and all around us are all kinds of different vehicles, from front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive, high-powered pickup trucks, and even good old American muscle.
Patrick McIntyre, this is a Dodge Charger.
What's making this worse is he's talking about us before we even drive.
Charger pulls up to the beams, is going to stage. They've been practicing all day for this. Lights begin to drop. There you go. 5:26 reaction time.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it.
Pedal to the metal to the halfway point, 597. Coming up on the finish line lights, 85 and 80 miles an hour. Good run.
Ah!
Next up will be Jessi Combs. She is in the Dodge Challenger.
Breathe in, breathe out. I'm pulling up to the staging lanes right now. Stage.
Jessi's off the mark. 7:46 reaction. A little late on the lights compared to Patrick. Spins the tires a bit. Then in second gear. She's got a manual transmission. Patrick had the automatic. She runs a 9:36 at 73 miles an hour.
Take a look at the time slip.
All right.
So 5:26 light actually isn't bad, especially for your first run in a car like this. 885 at 80 miles an hour. We talked, you shut off a little bit early on that run.
Sure, sure.
So that's okay. You know the things that you're going to do better, and there's probably a comfort level after having done it one time.
Right.
And then Jess, let's take a look at yours. So 746 light, and then the car went 936, which we expected that the Charger was actually going to be the quicker car. It seems like that torque converter, the automatic transmission, just transfer the power better out here. So the cool thing is now, we'll switch rides, we'll each make a lap there, and then we're going to start doing some math after this.
Here comes Jessi Combs in the Dodge Supervee. She pulls it up. She's got it staged. The lights drop. Gone. Ooh, good light. 3:35 reaction. 2.0 60-foot mark. Crossing the center line. In an 8:46 at the finish line lights. All right, Patrick is coming up. Patrick McIntyre. 392 cubic inches worth of Dodge Challenger.
Now I've got the old manual, which should be easy because all I have to do is just dump the clutch. But we're gonna see how easy it is here in a second.
Yeah, baby, it's got a Hemi. Patrick getting ready to go. He gets the pre-stage light lit. Full stage now. Holds it, lights dropping down, green light. He enters the throttle, spins the tire, a little smoke as it clears up. He bangs it in second gear. 7:72 reaction time, 2.4 60-foot mark. Coming up on the halfway point, he runs a 6.2. Finish line, 9:55 at 77 miles an hour.
She went faster than you. She went an 8:46.
Damn it. Thank you. The automatic car, staging, not so bad. Pretty simple, 2-foot driving, brake, give it a little bit, and then just let off. The manual transmission, on the other hand, in the Challenger, much more difficult.
Pretty impressive, huh, guys?
It's fun.
You each got a good run in each car. Let's see who was the best. Your run was an 885 at 80 miles an hour in the Charger. Jessi's run was 846. She got you by 0.4 of a second.
All right.
That's one for the girls. Okay, so the tiebreaker would be the Challenger. Patrick won a 9:55, Jessi won a 9:36. She got you there too. I think it's safe to say we could put a check mark in that box. You guys did fantastic.
Oh, Jack, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jack. I really appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Enjoy your night.
Thanks for all your tips.
All right, so there you have it. Miss Combs wins, but not too shabby on my part.
I think you did a fantastic drive for your first time.
Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Either way, we can officially check Go Drag Racing off our list, which I think we need to do right now because the track is about to close and we should take at least one more pass.
Those pro drivers have such amazing focus to be able to handle those high-powered vehicles like that.
And I love that there are programs out there for everyday people like you and I to get a taste of professional racing.
Yeah, so get out there and find your local racing program so you can check a few items off your own list.
Until then, we'll see you next time on the list.